If you joined us last week, you saw that we had started clearing the land and pouring the foundation for our shop and apartment before building a house on our land in southern Missouri. Join us this week as we get the next step started.
Cut this to length, 10 foot, and we're cutting out our notch before we stand it up for a 4x12 header. Now we're splitting the difference and notching it 2 inches. That way our full 2x runner nailers, that way it's all flush.
Damien's dad Clay is here again today to offer a helping hand whenever needed, and as always, it is much appreciated.
So we're trying to get rid of the corners. We want at least the center core to sit on this plate, and we're trying to take some out so they're not hitting on the anchors. Probably taking too much now.
Now might be a good time to remind you, in case you haven't heard before, we are not professional builders in any way, but we're just trying to figure out things as we go along.
Take that wood mallet and knock it over that blue line.
Damien built these metal braces himself, and I must say I think that he did a great job. All in all, we continued this process over and over until we had put up 16 10-foot sidewall posts. As you can see, the process took a little bit of tweaking on the first few to figure out exactly what was the best way to do it, but after that, it started going pretty smooth and pretty quick. It may not look like much, but getting this step done felt like a big step in the right direction. The next morning in our business meeting, we decided after putting up the headers, we needed to step away from the construction process and do something that we love, which is planting trees. Damien sawed these timbers himself. He has his own sawmill, which is one of the best investments that we have made and has made not only our last home possible, but also is going to be very instrumental in making the building process of this home possible as well. You want me to help?
Yes, sir, I've got her.
Do you want me to help?
We got it, babe. got her, Dad, if you want to get the level and the hammer and drill and stuff.
Okay.
Oop, shit.
That is way bigger, isn't it? So no wonder it looks so
Not wide.
scary.
It's 6 foot longer. Okay, probably good. Maybe. It might need to go in a touch more.
Now it's time to get these braced up, and I'm so glad that we did not waste any time doing that because 80-mile-an-hour winds were on their way. It's time to take a break from construction and get to doing what we love. At our last home, we planted over 70 trees, and here we have planted one already, and then we brought in a load of, I believe, about 15 trees. We have a variety of maples, oaks, and elm trees. Damien's brother, Arian, was so helpful to bring over his equipment and help us get the ground dug up. We only have about a 1/4 inch of topsoil, and then you hit solid rock, or a lot of rock at least, so it was very helpful. We also had some equipment that we had already rented from Grand Rental in Grove, Oklahoma, and it was really the best time for us to stop construction and get that done while we still had it here, because it made the process so much easier for planting these large trees. Now it's time to start watering the trees. We had Jaylee help out by bringing the water bucket and filling the gallon up one at a time, but we quickly realized that wasn't going to work at all. We filled up our 30-gallon tank and we used that, but it was still good for her to be outside and helping with the project until I could get onto the 30-gallon tank. Just as we were wrapping up, we were starting to notice that the sky was really beginning to change, and Arian called to let us know that 80-mile-an-hour winds were headed our way. We went to the 911 center nearby to take cover because we're living in a camper. Thankfully, the camper didn't blow away, and all the trees were still standing, all the walls were still standing, and the next day we were able to get back to work putting up the headers. This would normally be a job for several men, but again, renting the right equipment saved us a lot of labor, even with the cost of renting the equipment. After those winds came in, we made a decision that we don't want to wait until our final house is completed to have a shelter in the storm. So on this back side here, we decided that we are going to put in a 10x10 tornado shelter, and you'll see more of that later. But for now, it's time to enjoy the clear skies and the beautiful sunset at Mountain Ridge. Join us next week as Damien calls in some of his tallest buddies to help set the trusses.